Let me see if the connection is good. See if the connection is good. Sounds good. Let's see. Yeah, man. Okay, we good. We good. Now, before I'm going in, I was thinking about this title. You have to understand we are living in times wherein, everything you say and put up is gonna be pulled down in an instant. But yeah, if it happens, it happens, man. This is just something. These are facts, scriptural knowledge that has to come out. Um, so, as you see the title of the lesson, none of you heathens are innocent. Okay, now I was watching the Apostle Ramla going in on these Christians, and what was he saying? He was saying that these Christians they played out, man. They played out. Okay, we've been telling them, Psalms 147, verse 19, 20. This truth is only for Israel. On top of that, none of you heathens are innocent, man. Okay, so that inspired me to do this lesson. So before I go into it, I want to give all praises, glory, and the highest honor to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua Ba'Shem Kakadash. Double honors to the elder apostle of Great Millstone. Peace and salutations to the elect out there that's spreading this word, this city, and the truth all over the four corners of the earth. Okay, so like I was saying, none of you heathens are innocent, man. Okay, this lesson ain't gonna be too long, but let me show you what I was meditating upon and what we often hear, okay, from these heathens. Okay, so here you see the map of Europe, right? And let me see if I can zoom in here. So here you see the map of Europe. Now, often people come to us and say like, yeah, but I come from the northern parts of Norway, or yeah, I come from Sweden or Finland. Okay, Lapland, what is this? Estland, Lithuania. Lithuania is here. This is what? Estland, Lapland. No, that's not Lapland. Forgot which country this is. But here you have Lithuania. Okay, you have these countries wherein the northern parts of Russia. Okay, you have here it says Belarus, but it's actually here we know it as White Russia. It's called White Russia, Wit-Rusland in Dutch. Okay, so there are often people, or Iceland. Okay, often people come up over here in Europe and claim that they had nothing to do with the punishment that came upon our people, the slavery. Okay, the spoiling our people. Okay, so basically, in some form or some way, they're trying to say that they are innocent. Okay, which they are not. Also, these people over here, okay, around Bosnia, okay, Bosnia, Yugoslavia, okay, Croatia, they don't realize that there's a lot of Jake among them too. Okay, there's a lot of Jakes among these regions, and on top of that, you have something called mass migration. And of course, the simple do not understand. Okay, we was teaching in The Hague, and some simple ass Christians pulled up, and they was talking about, yeah, how can y'all ever be Jews? Because look at you, you don't even look like them. And these were Jakes, man. Well, one, I think he was a tear, but the other one was 100% the Jake. And I'm like, are y'all stupid or something? So here it says mass migration in history. For example, great migrations include the Indo-European migrations to Europe, the Middle East and South Asia during the Bronze Age, the Bantu migrations across sub-Sahara Africa, barbarian invasions during the Roman Empire, the Great Migration from England of the 1630s, and the California gold rush from the 1848. So these are recent uh, mass migrations, but this is a sifting of a nationality of people across the world. Okay, the largest migration in history was the so-called Great Atlantic Migration from Europe to North America, the first major wave of which began in the 1840s with mass movements from Ireland and Germany. Okay, these were these crackers, these devils going towards America. Okay, actually going back to the 1500s. Okay, mass migration from West Africa. Okay, how they mass migrated us? How? Through slavery. Okay, so people never stay in the same spot. So for these people to say like, yeah, but we live here. Okay, we here in the Netherlands, which here, okay, the capital city is Amsterdam. Here in the Netherlands, which we like to refer to Netherlands as Holland better. Here is a place in the southwest region where they build ships, okay, which is called Sealand. Sealand is a province. They build ships, and a lot of these ships also went to Norway, man. To Norway. From here, the military of Holland went to Iceland, okay, stayed there. You have the brother from America. He was based with the military in Germany. So he left, he stayed in Germany. Okay, that's where GMS Germany comes from now. So people constantly migrate. So for these heathens to say, like, yeah, but I live in the northern parts of Finland where you have all these northern lights. You see, I live over here, you have nothing there, this and that, only northern lights and small cabins. Well, that's good for you. Good for you and your family that your ass ended up there. But once you was in the land of Edom, and I'm about to hit the scriptures, but let me make this point first. You started off over here in the land of Edom. So your point is not valid, man. Because let me see. Fucked it up. Your point is not valid, man. Here, the land of Edom. Okay, beneath the land of Judah, or the regions of Judah, bordering with Moab. Okay, so this is where you once were, unless you are part of other heathens, man. Unless you are part of maybe Moab or Japheth. But guess what? The Most High has divided the land among Shem, Ham, and Japheth. Map. Okay, Most High has divided the land among Shem, Ham, and Japheth. Now Shem had the Middle Eastern parts, Ham had Africa, and Japheth had Europe. Okay, so once y'all were in certain spots, in certain areas in which you wanted to conquer the Holy Land, which is the land of Canaan, which is now the land of Israel. Okay, not because of these Israeli people, but because of our forefather, whose name was changed into Jacob, whose name was changed into Israel. Okay, now they say Israel means he who wrestles the Most High. And they do that in a wicked sense, like we wrestling against the Heavenly Father, we going against the Heavenly Father. That's how they put it out. But what does Israel mean? Israel means, goes back to the Hebrew, which is Yah is he, Shar is prince, and Allah is power. He is a prince of the power. Okay, because of the strength of our forefather Jacob, the whole nation was called that way. Okay, the descendants of Jacob were called that way. Okay, now Like I said, man, for you heathens to claim innocence, not having a part in the destruction of the nation of Israel, is off, man. Let me share this other screen. Let me see. Share screen. Let me share this one. Okay, it's off, man. Okay, so here we got Jeremiah chapter 10, verse 25. Pour out thy fury upon the heathen that know thee not, and upon the families that call not on thy name, for they have eaten up Jacob and devoured him and consumed him and have made his habitation desolate. Okay, now this happened throughout history, man. That they came to conquer, make us desolate. Okay, going back to the time of the Assyrian Empire, going back to the time of the Egyptian Empire. What did they do unto us during the Egyptian Empire, man? Let's bring it out. Okay, great terrorists, man, and these were Hamites. Okay, they were of Martazarium. Okay, which is Mizraim, son of Ham. Let's go to Exodus chapter 2. Or is it Exodus chapter 1 still? Let me see. Let me check real quick. Exodus. I think it's still chapter 1, actually. Exodus chapter 1. Yeah. Let's go to Exodus chapter 1. Real quick, man. And this is a known captivity, man. This is a known captivity. But let me read this real quick, okay? This is Exodus 1 and 8. Now there arose up a new king over Egypt, which knew not Joseph. And he said unto his people, behold, the people of the children of Israel are more and mightier than we. Come on, let us deal wisely with them, lest they multiply, and it come to pass that when there falleth out any war, they join also unto our enemies and fight against us, and so get them up out of the land. Now you have to understand, during this period, you had Egypt fighting with the Hittites, the Hivites, okay, the Girgashites, war with Canaan. You have to understand it, man. These Egyptians, in order to have this world domination, they had to fight against Canaanites, man. Okay? They had to fight against these Canaanites, which was dwelling in the land that we was about to take. They was fighting with these Cushites, okay? Because you had the land of Cush, which land of Cush? What is this, man? Map, unbelievable. Land of Cush, which here you see the land of Cush, which is where now Sudan is, Eritrea, Somalia. Look, here you see better. Okay, Sudan, Eritrea, which those those people of Mizraim, okay, the true Egyptians, they migrated downwards to the eastern parts of Africa, and these Ishmaelites, they went up in the land of Egypt and claim it as if they are the true Egyptians. But if we look at these hieroglyphs, we know that ain't true. Okay, they just migrated. Okay, they just migrated. Now that is the same thing with breaking down this so-called innocence of these people that also migrated into areas wherein they are so-called living in peace and have nothing to do with the transatlantic slavery and this and this and that, claiming that, yeah, since we were over here in Finland, we had nothing to do with the slavery that was going on from Spain and France and Holland. Get the fuck out of here, man. Okay, prior to you being in these countries, you were over here in the land of Edom. Okay, whatever nation you are, in the land of Ham, in the land of Ishmael, in the land of Moab or Ammon, whatever. You were once in this area where everything was popping off. Okay, he was once there, because during the Medo-Persian Empire, this whole area was conquered. And who are the Medes? The Medes are the Indonesian people. Okay, who are the Persians? The Persians are the Elamites. But going back to my point, when we was in Egypt, okay, the Egyptians was going to war with a lot of Canaanites. Okay, those same Canaanites that we would have to beat going into the land of Israel eventually, going into the land of Canaan. Before the Egyptian empire was set up, you had the empire of Cush that had to conquer Egypt, and in that way go through the land of Israel and through Moab and Ammon, and eventually, set up their how you call that, their base, or their how you call that, shit, their settlement, their main settlement in Mesopotamia. Okay, Mesopotamia. So they went past the Egyptian empire. So from there on out, people migrated and everything popped off. Now let me go back to these scriptures, okay, that I was reading. Exodus. Okay, yeah, so that's my point, Slaki. I kind of lost my point. So it says, lest they join unto our enemies. So Egypt had enemies already. Now, you got to remember, up till this day, Esau don't know how the hell these pyramids were made. Up till this day, Esau don't know what the fuck happened during these times with these so-called primitive tools. They were like, wow, how the fuck did they make this, man? And this is not everything, okay, of the pyramids which we made. Okay, this is not everything. So Esau is still contemplating, like, how the hell did they make these structures, man? You have this temple of Karnak. Okay, which in these temples you had places where the slaves had to stay. Okay, which this is what all the things that we made, man. And I've been here personally. Okay, the temple of Karnak, which is in the Valley of the Kings. Okay, this is what we made, man. And these pillars were filled with gold. It's all these things we had to make through hardcore bondage, man. Hardcore bondage. The same thing goes for the Babylonian Empire. We had to build it up. We had to set that up. Okay, this is this Hatshepsut temple, which is this female that had a relationship with this servant or whatever. Anyway, a whole temple was built inside a mountain. Now, my point being, we were so strong that we was able to lift up these heavy bricks and build up a whole empire like this through slavery. Okay, now they were set over us by the power of the Heavenly Father Yahweh, but they was fearful for us, man. They was looking at us and they was like, damn, actually, if these Israelites, use their brains and join forces with our enemies, they can easily overtake us, man. Look at their strength, look at their power, man. But guess what? That fear was for naught, because the Heavenly Father put us in that position. Okay, for a reason. It was prophecy, and it was already prophesied during the time of Abraham that we was gonna go into slavery and we was gonna be afflicted 400 years. Okay, but the fear was literally amongst these heathens, because they was like, these people is too strong, man. Just like how these Edomites be looking at us like, how the hell can they do these combinations, these fighting moves, this dance that they pull off, these flips and this break dancing? They're looking at us like y'all have mad skill, but still look at where we are. We are at the bottom. And that's all because of the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Shai that we are here where we are right now. Okay? And that's another proof that we are we are the sons of the Most High. We are the Israelites, because unto the Israelites their great estate has been fallen, that they have become the tail. Now, who is such a great nation upon the planet Earth, but are in a low position? The Negroes, Latinos, and Indianos. Okay, so Exodus 1 and 10, come on, let us deal wisely with them, lest they multiply. And it come to pass that when there falleth out any war, they join also unto our enemies, and fight against us, and so get them up out of the land. Therefore they did set over them taskmasters to afflict them with their burdens, and they built for Pharaoh treasure cities, Pithom and Ramses. Okay, which Pithom was a great, not great, it was mass slavery over there, man. There was mass slavery, hardcore bondage and rigor over there. Now it says, as a matter of fact, I ain't gonna do this right now. Okay, going into the Python and let me see, where was I? Going into Python and Ramses. But these were cities, okay? Treasure cities built by who? Built by Jake, man. But the more they afflicted them, the more they multiplied and grew. Because what does Jake do in a time of affliction, in a time of distress? Bust a nut, man. Have sex. That's what happens when people are afflicted and being broken down, man. They seek comfort of their wife and they multiply. Okay? And also through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yeshua, of course, this happened, man. The more we got punished and afflicted, the more we multiplied, and they were grieved because of the children of Israel. And the Egyptians made the children of Israel to serve with rigor. Let's look up that word rigor. Now, the point I'm going into this, the book of Exodus, is to just give an example of people that afflicted us, but are not in the land of Egypt nowadays anymore. Okay? Like I pointed out, these people are now up here in the land of Sudan. Okay? Now they can say like, yeah, we are in the land of Sudan. Have you seen the conditions in which we live? Have you seen the conditions in which we live? We had nothing to do with slavery. We had nothing to do with the punishment of the Negroes, Latinos, Indianos. Yes, you did. Okay? You can't be looking all sad and stuff like this now. But you are the children of our taskmasters, man, that were set up in these times. You are the descendants of the people that was treating us with hardcore rigor, man. Okay? Harshness, severity, cruelty. They was cruel, man, beating down old and young. Okay? So we ain't got no mercy for them, man. Coming in this truth, coming in the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Shai, that there ain't no mercy for this bullshit, man, that they done did. Even though they all sad and raise up money for these people because they so poor and stuff like that. The Most I put them there, man. They went from being a mighty and powerful rulership empire to people that have nothing, man. By the will and power of Yahweh Shem Shai. Okay, Martazarium. So for these people, easy, man. They can now claim they had nothing to do with slavery, but their lineage goes back to the people of Egypt. Okay, so it says, verse 14, and they made their lives bitter with hard bondage in mortar and in brick, and in all manner of service in the field, and their service wherein they made them serve was with rigor. And the king of Egypt spake to the Hebrew midwives, of which the name of one was Sifra, and the name of the other Puah. And he said, when ye do the office of the midwife to the Hebrew women, and see them upon the stools, if it be a son, then ye shall kill him. But if it be a daughter, then she shall live. Why? A nation is being built by the man. Okay? A man produces seed. A man sets forth a nation. A woman has no seed in her. She's empty. She has an empty shell, eggshell. Okay? And the man fertilizes her. Okay? With his seed. And then she conceives. So this is what these people was contemplating towards, man. They was meditating upon, our downfall, our hurt. They didn't want us to multiply. They was seeking to destroy our children, man. When they were sons, they was killing our sons, man. Okay, desiring to kill our sons, and they did it, man. But the midwives feared the Most High and did not as the king of Egypt commanded them, but saved the man children alive. Now, this is a straight up precept for Numbers 1 and 28. Numbers 1, Numbers 1 and 18. Okay? Showing you that these heathens even knew, like, hey, in order to break a nation, you got to kill the sons, man. Or kill the man. Numbers 1 and 18. And they assembled all the congregation together on the first day of the second month, and they declared their pedigrees after their families by the house of their fathers. Now your pedigree goes into your race. Your race gets decided by the house of your father. You are what your father is. Okay? You are what your father is. Okay? To bring forth, beget, gender, travail. Okay? To bear. Let me see. Pedigree meaning. Okay, the record of a descent of an animal showing it to be purebred, the record of ancestry or lineage of a person or family that is being recorded by the house of the father. Okay, the father a Judite, the children are Judites. Okay, the father are Israelites, and the mother Edomites, the children are Israelites. The mother is an Israelite, and the father is a Moabite. The children are Moabites. Okay? Easy. And again, like I said, proof in the book of Exodus. Now going on, okay, that Exodus was just a quick example that I had to put out. And like I said, the Kush Empire, they conquered us after, okay, the Egyptian Empire done destroyed us, man. Okay, but the battle between the Kushites and the people of Martazarium was already there. They was constantly fighting. You have documentaries on the wars that they waged together against each other. Okay, now looking at our strength and firmness and growth in numbers and strength, they was fearful, very fearful for us, man. Okay, but does that give them I call that, does that give them any reason to put us in hardcore bondage like that? No, but it's all the will of the Heavenly Father. It was prophecy, but the fulfillment of that prophecy is also their punishment. Pour out thy fury upon the heathen that know thee not, and upon the families that call not on thy name, for they have eaten up Jacob. Throughout generation and generation, Jacob has been eaten up by all these nations, all these heathens, and devoured him and consumed him and gave and made his habitation desolate. Now, the Medo-Persian Empire went into the land of Israel, made it desolate. The Greek Empire, okay, the Babylonian, Egyptian Empire, they all came up to our land and tried to destroy it. Okay, now let me wrap this up by going over these scriptures, because my battery is like 20%. I don't have my charger here. Okay, they have made the land desolate, which at a certain point made us to flee out of the land. This is Ezekiel 7 and 20. As for the beauty of his ornament, he set it in majesty, which is the land of Israel. But they made the images of their abominations and of their detestable things therein. Therefore have I set it far from them. Up till this day, the land of Israel is set far from us, man. The Most High removed us out of that place. And I will give it into the hands of the strangers for a prey. Okay, Ishmaelites, okay, those that call themselves Palestinians up to this day, which they are not, okay, which because the Palestinians go back to the Philistines, which were Hamites. Now, these people are clearly Ishmaelites, man. Okay, they are clearly Ishmaelites. So, just like how these Ishmaelites went into the land of Egypt, conquered it, they wanted to destroy all these idols that are set up in Egypt, but was being stopped from doing that. Just like how they went up in there and brought that religion, Islam, the same way they went up in Israel, man. You know, put the name a Palestinian upon themselves and try to claim the land, which the land is rightfully ours. Okay, and I will give it into the land in the hands of the strangers for prey, and to the wicked of the earth for spoil, and they shall pollute it. With what? With their philosophies, with their ways, with their abominations, with their gay prides and whatever. My face will I turn also from them, and they shall pollute my secret place, for the robber shall enter into it and defile it. Okay? So that's what they did. They carried us out and they brought their detestable things and their filthiness into the land. Okay? This is Zechariah 12 and 9. And it shall come to pass in that day that I will seek to destroy all the nations that come against Jerusalem. All the nations that come against Jerusalem. Now, that also goes for these people that are now living, peacefully and sound and safe in these upper parts or in Iceland and had nothing to do with the transatlantic slave trade and all that nonsense. But they was once in the land of Edom, or in the land of Greece, or in the land or the regions of Rome, because Rome is just a city, but Rome was used to be a whole region, man. Okay, they rarely refer to the land of Italy as Italy. They refer to it as the regions of Rome. Okay, so all the nations that come up against Jerusalem. Now there was a saying back in the days, which was being written during the time of the Maccabean Empire, or the Maccabean Wars, referring to, okay, the sons of Mattathias Maccabeus, okay, which is the father of Judas Maccabeus, okay, which this is First Maccabees chapter 2 verse 8. Her temple is become as a man without glory. Her glorious vessels are carried away into captivity. Her infants are slain in the streets. This is what these devils did unto us, man. They slain our infants in the streets. Her young man with the sword of the enemy. Okay, this was during the Greek Empire, when they came up into the land, man. All her ornaments are taken away. Yeah, because what did they do? The Ark of Titus. And these devils are so proud that they just set up a whole how you call this, monument, man. They set up this monument to show you how proud they are, into taking our stuff, our ornaments, our beauty, our gold. Okay, let me grab my charger real quick. Salakia, man, I don't even have my charger with me. It's still at the office, man. Okay, let me wrap this up, man. Salakia for this, man. Hey, Satan, man. Yeah, man. So they took our stuff, man. They took our stuff. Okay. Now, like I said, all her ornaments. Okay, Salakia. her young man with the sword of the enemy. What nation had not had a part in her kingdom and gotten of her spoils? Meaning, who did not devour us? All of these heathen nations came up against us, man. Even when they had nothing to do with it. You can read about that in the book of Judith. They joined forces with the enemy, man, with our enemies. Now there's a saying, his enemy is my friend, right? That's the rule that these heathens apply to themselves. Okay, so here, okay, let me see, 6% battery. Psalms 59 and 13. Consume them in wrath, consume them that they may not be, and let them know that the Most High ruleth in Jacob unto the ends of the earth. You see that? Consume that, consume them, the ones that devour Jacob, man. Okay, Psalms 14 and 4. Have all the workers of iniquity no knowledge, who eat up my people as they eat bread, and call not upon Yahweh. There were they in great fear, for the Most High is in the generations of the righteous. They have shamed the counsel of the poor because the Lord is his refuge. Oh, that the salvation of